Let's go off the charts here on the ML Sports Platter with CH Insurance as the title sponsor, of course. Off the Charts brought to you by CH, and you can get those insurance plans and more, including group benefits. They are in your corner. Check them out on all the social platforms as well. Off the Charts in conjunction with the ML Sports Platter. Joe Jr., Mike Lindsley, and looky here, our guy, OCC SBDC. God, look at that. Advanced Certified Business Advisor. You can't even fit that on a business card with our guy, Mark Pitonzo. How are you, buddy? Welcome aboard.
I am sensational. You can't stop us. All you can do is hope to contain us, Mike.
That's right. Well, how about your title, your daily structure, kind of what you do on the daily for people who don't know? You and I see each other a lot at the SU games and all the rest, which we'll get to later on as well. But just kind of give people the intro to you, what you do, and then I'm sure Joe and you will kind of go back and forth because you guys have been in each other's corner for an awfully long time.
In his corner every day, every way. Huh, Joe?
Oh, going old school. I like that.
All right. So the Small Business Development Center up at OCC, our job in a nutshell is to provide no cost, free business advisement to any client that either wants to start a business, wants to expand their business, wants to improve upon their business, or wants to sell their business. So we essentially connect the dots, and we'll get into that a little bit more in a minute. But our job is when we interview people about where they're at, what they're looking for, we provide a lot of different components to how to help them, deliver what they need, and so that they're in a better place, once their advisement is done.
Joe, take over here a little bit. I know you and Mark go back here a little bit. I don't know how many years. I don't want to date you guys.
Let's see. We both lived in the same development in the early 90s. First of all, Mark, thanks for coming on. We've been trying to get Mark for months, Mike, but he's a busy guy. He has grandkids now. Just a great guy, him and his wife. And Linda and I were so happy to meet him and Renee in Fremont Meadows. The story goes, I have three daughters. Mark has two, and our daughters were born Alyssa C., who we still call Alyssa C., and his daughters were born, I believe, on the same day, July 5th or 6th.
Your daughter was born one day before my twin daughters.
The twin daughters. And I'll never forget Mark coming up, knocking on the door. You had a girl. Next day, I go down. You had two girls.
Yeah.
So it stemmed from there. We all went to IC. I coached with Mark. I played hoops against Mark before I even knew him. And he was just tough as nails. And I'm sure we'll get into that in a while. But Mark's humble. What he does, I think, for the community, even though it's at OCC, which is a great, spring into a small business owner. I talked to someone just last week, Mark, and they said, geez, Joe, do you know Mark Pitonzo? He's helping us with a business plan. And I go, oh my God. And it was referred to him by a regional bank. So banks need, these businesses have big plans. They want to do big things, but Mike, we always talk the 5 most important people in a business life, right? Your banker, your accountant, your spouse, your insurance agent, and your CPA, not in every order. You better have a plan. And I think we'll get into it. That's what Mark and his team does to get people ready for the next level.
Yeah, Joe, here's the thing. People come to us in a variety of ways. I mean, they may Google us, looking for small business assistance. They may be speaking to your point about speaking to their bank representative. They are referred to us in a variety of different ways. We have a pretty robust website that has a lot of different, but you can go to the website and just sign up automatically for our help. It's kind of amazing what we do, and a lot of people are amazed at the fact of what we provide for free. We are subsidized by New York State and the Small Business Administration. We are one of about 20 centers like us in the state of New York. There's offices all the way down to New York City, Albany, Buffalo. Our geography, we go all the way up to Watertown for our office. We go out to Madison County. we go down to Cortland area, and we go to the Auburn area. We cover a pretty wide area. But it's interesting because somebody might come to us, like I said earlier, they may need just, hey, I need help with my business plan. I'm not looking for funding. I'm just looking for help with my business plan. So we have a business plan template that we provide that gives them guidance. Now, we don't do it for them, but we assist them with every aspect of it. They'll start it. We also have, and let me back up a second and give you almost an example of how we help people. So Joe, if you came to me and said, Mark, there's a restaurant in Syracuse I want to buy, and it's X amount of dollars. I have money to put down, but I don't have it all, and I need to get some funding from a bank. We would first start out by explaining to you, how do you want to be structured? We would talk to them about forming an LLC, a limited liability company, or forming an S Corp. We talk to them about the implications of it. We don't do it for you,
Right.
but we show them the way of how to do that. Secondly, if you were going to a bank to borrow money, there's two things they'd want to see. They'd want to see a business plan, and they'd want to see financial projections. The financial projections, we have a big Excel workbook that we use, and it goes through income statements, cash flow analysis, balance sheets, depreciation schedules, everything. We do that on behalf of our clients with their help. On the business plan side, again, I mentioned we provide them a template. And then we also, and I'll jump ahead, we have a research department. And so with that research department, they can provide things like sample business plans for restaurants or other industries. They also provide information like demographics or lists or different things like that. So that's another great resource that we provide, is that research department is one of the best that I've ever seen. They're very well equipped to provide information on any subject. Finally, we have we work with a lot of banks. We work with a lot of insurance brokers. We work with a lot of payroll companies. We work with a lot of attorneys, accountants, you name it. So we've developed a what we call our referral list or consultant list. And you as a client can speak to anybody on that list. You get one free consultation with anybody on that list. And so, Joe, if you were looking for an accountant or an attorney or somebody like that, you would meet with somebody and decide if you wanted to use them, ask them a few questions, and then going forward, you'd come to some sort of arrangement with them. That's what we do, is connect the dots for clients. If a client was looking for a franchise, we work with a company that works with people that are looking for franchises. If a company was looking to either sell their business, we provide assistance with that, buying and selling a business. So we provide a lot of different tools for clients, no matter what their needs are.
No, that's great. We're happy to be part of that list, Mark. Thank you. And we take care of your clients, and I know you have to refer a couple, and it's just the way it is. People they want a choice. And that's another thing. Some of us have connections, guys, others don't. And that's where Mark brings those connections to you. Mark, I know you were an executive in marketing for Agway, for a long time. And, it just seems like whenever we see you, you're having fun. I think you love what you do, and it's great. I mean, obviously you could be retired down in Florida doing whatever, golfing every day, like probably Mike Lindley. But you're always loving what you do. Why do you love this piece of your OCC, SBDC role right now? What is the reason you love what you do? Because you could be anywhere.
Yeah. For anyone that's actually listening right this moment in time, this question was not planted. This is an actual question that Joe's asking. And the reason I'm saying that is, I did work, real quickly. I worked for General Electric for many years in international marketing, worked for National Grid for a long time, and also worked for Agway Suburban Propane. I was going to retire several years ago. This job presented. It has been the best job I've ever had in my life. Only I enjoy coming into work every single day. To your point, Joe, humbly I say, yes, I could be retired. I'm not doing this because of the financial payout for this, because that's not the impetus for it. But I love what I do, and I've been on several boards in Central New York, and I love helping the community. This is kind of a form of that. Even though, I'm working for OCC in the Small Business Development Center, I feel like I'm really helping the community. Since I've been here, and it's been close to, I never thought I'd be here this long. It's been close to 8 years I've been working in this position. I've helped to fund over $60 million of economic impact for the community.
That's great.
That's
So,
great, man. Congrats
And
on
Mike,
that.
Mike, that's why it was important. I want our viewers, listeners to understand that this is up here locally, free
Yeah.
of charge, connected to OCC like they are with Micron and all the things that are happening in Central New York. So if you're a small business and you're still in business and need next level help, Mark's the fit. Mark's
doubt.
the fit to help with a loan, help with connections. Not necessarily going to save money on everything you're doing. He might have some connections there, but next level stuff, startups, things of that nature. And hats off to you, Mark. I think you're doing a great job, and we appreciate it.
yeah, it saves people a lot of time and money because it's free. It's complimentary.
Right.
There's going to be, as everyone knows, this is no magic, but when General Electric formed in Liverpool, Bayberry was kind of an offshoot of that. That whole area developed as a result of that. Micron's going to have the same effect, and all the small businesses that go with that are going to be a result of Micron, and we're going to be in a position to help people with those small businesses that support the people and the workers, the employees of Micron, et cetera. So it's a great thing.
Does that excite you, Mark? In the next, I mean, you said you could retire, but are you living for the next 3 to 5 years to keep helping businesses come and with what's happening with 81, Micron, all the development downtown?
As long as I stay healthy, I'll continue doing this, for as long as, it makes sense. But I do enjoy it quite a bit. It's exciting, to see all the different things that are going on, all the construction going on all over Central New York, in addition to what's happening with Micron and whatnot. So obviously you're going to be a recipient of a lot of that.
Yeah,
that kind of,
it's great. I think we all
directly
are.
and indirectly.
Well, if something happens though, Mark, and we may want you at CH Insurance. You can, come over, with our doors.
And business development is my skill set. Probably a master negotiator.
All right, Mike. Before we get into SU sports, Mark, talk a little bit about those grandkids.
Oh, I'm blessed every day. As Joe mentioned, I have twin daughters. Quick story. They are very close. They went right through college together, played lacrosse at Marist, etc. But they got married within 2 months of each other, which Joe knows is an expensive proposition. But they got married within 2 months of each other. And coincidentally, 2 years later, had babies within 2 months of each other. So they remain close. One of my daughters lives in New Jersey. Her husband has a wonderful job with Jersey Mike's, and no plug there, but and they have a little boy that just turned 1. His name is Griffin. And my daughter lives not far from us in Manlius, and she has a daughter who's 10 months old, and we're loving life.
That's great. That's great. All right, before SU, let's tell a couple stories how we kind of really met before the neighborhood hoops, Mark. I'm going to turn it to you. Monday night hoops, Thursday night hoops. Mike, this was City Rec basketball. This guy guards like crazy, has knee braces on, and I'm trying to get open.
Joe was a let me say a prolific scorer.
Prolific, easy, dude.
And when I say scorer, that doesn't necessarily mean all the shots were selected by his teammates, if you know what I mean. Joe led his team in steals, but he was stealing the ball from his own teammates.
Gotcha.
Anyways, no, Joe and I played against each other quite a bit in rec ball. Joe was a great scorer. Only way to stop Joe was to deny him the ball, and I tried my best to deny him the ball. and he still found ways to score the basketball. So we had a lot of fun, a lot of battles.
Yeah, we did have a lot of titles and battles and playoffs, and then it turned to the kids, and we coached together at IC, and then my daughters went to FM and CBA, and there it is. So
yeah, all good.
So you've got some Syracuse thoughts, I'm sure, Mark. We're knocking on the door of the SU football season, and then obviously hoops later on. But we'll just give you the floor here on any Orange sports you want to talk to. I see you all the time at the games.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm fortunate. I get to do the scoreboard for football and play clock and scoreboard for men's and women's basketball up there, that's a wonderful opportunity that I've been blessed with. But anyways, and I'm probably going to say nothing that you guys don't already know. It's pretty difficult. I mean, I think Fran Brown's doing a tremendous job with what he's doing with the football program currently. It is so difficult nowadays to understand who's on your team, because each year, it's a different format. You got people in the portal. You got people that are coming in as freshmen, and how do you slot everybody into different positions and build a program. So building a program is incredibly difficult. I think in a very short period of time, Fran Brown has been able to do that. And I think he'll continue to do that. He's a pretty motivated, passionate guy, and been around him. He's a wonderful person, and I think the students, athletes up there enjoy playing for him. Basketball, it's a program that is near and dear to my heart. Being a former Division III basketball player, Joe, and a referee also. But you watch the program. I think it's even more difficult with basketball with the portal because there's so fewer players that you're working with, and so if one player that is your premier scorer or one of your best rebounders or your best point guards, et cetera, leaves the program, it changes the chemistry of the program instantaneously. So I think it's more difficult because in football, typically you're 3-4 deep at positions. And, typically you got guys that can fill in the ranks pretty quickly in football. In basketball, if you got 12 on the team and you lose a premier player or a premier scorer, et cetera, like I mentioned, I think the process becomes more difficult to put a quality program on the floor.
Wow.
Yeah, the only comp would be quarterback in football, with Syracuse loses McCord, so we'll see what happens here. But schedule also pretty difficult for the Orange as well. But yeah, the portal NIL is completely a different world. But Fran's trying to build the football house so that when guys go out, you're going to get guys come in, and the quicker you can develop, mix, match, and all that stuff, but have eyes on Central New York and just keep the door open with guys coming in. I think that's going to help more than anything. Plus, even the guys who don't come or come and leave, they're still looking at it. They're still seeing Syracuse. They're talking to other kids about Syracuse. Social media is going wild. So those things are huge as well.
Mike, I'm gonna make a connection here, which is going to be not a big leap. Just like Joe was mentioning earlier about, he's working with a particular bank with one of his clients, and they refer that client to us, or
Yep.
I refer a client to Joe.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's because things have gone well. There's been quality relationships. The same thing goes with what you're mentioning with football.
Yes.
If a guy leaves the program that maybe was in it for 3 years and decided to, go to the NFL, he's probably going to mention something to people that, hey, this is a good program. Fran Brown's a good coach, et cetera, et cetera. And next thing you know, we've got another 4-star recruit.
Exactly.
Wow,
Joe, I'll leave it to you to wrap things up here.
Yeah, Mark, before we let you go, being a fan, I'll stay to hoops. I know you're doing football clock. It's got to be tough. I mean, could you imagine me on the clock trying to be a fan, looking? The discipline and patience has to. I mean, you had to learn. You've had patience, but to do the clock and watch the game, what's it like in an intense situation?
Yeah, with football, it believe it or not, it's pretty intense because on that scoreboard we do down and distance as well. So you're looking for side judges quickly to see where they're putting the ball down, and you got to make quick decisions on that. With basketball, as much as I am a basketball junkie, you cannot take a microsecond off, a playoff, et cetera, et cetera. You have to be truly hyper focused on what's going on in the game, because there are a lot of rule changes and a lot of different things, scenarios that take place. And, you have to know, where, at what point, if the ball's in the backcourt, if the ball's in where that ball's going to be placed, it's going to affect what the shot clock is going to do. And you also have sometimes it's difficult when you're at a little bit of a distance to see whether a ball glazes the rim. So again, you've got to be very focused on every play to make sure that you're resetting at the right time.
Last piece. Did anyone come at you? Give me a story, quick 10-second, coach, ref, what's going on? Are they attacking you or no?
No. There's been some very colorful stories or arguments and discussions I've listened to between coaches and referees, but obviously I wouldn't repeat them. But there was one really funny conversation during a Notre Dame SU game at the Dome when Mike Bray was coaching Notre Dame. It was funny, and there's a lot of those kind of stories.
Yeah, what he's trying to say is when he's doing that job, Joe, is he can't text you back the whole game, okay?
Get it, Mike. I don't know if I could be a substitute for Mark.
I'm telling you, I definitely could not do it. Mark, big time thanks for coming on. All your roles, super cool, and keep at it, man. Mad respect, as you know, not just from Joe, but from me and the time that we've gotten to know each other and visit before the games as well. Our guest here on Off the Charts is Mark Pitonzo, OCC SBDC, Advanced Certified Business Advisor, of course. And you can catch this interview all over the social platforms. It's all brought to you by CH Insurance, as they are in your corner with insurance plans, group benefits, and a heck of a lot more. Joe Jr., Mike Lindsley, Mark Pitonzo, our guests. Great stuff, guys. Thank you so much for coming on, Mark.
Thanks, Mark.
Have a great day. Thank you.
You too.